Here to show us how to leverage the knowledge of locals is Doug Reinhardt of Localyte.
Good afternoon. First off, no, I did not do this for sympathy votes. Believe me, it wouldn't be worth it. So when we tell our friends about the most memorable part of our last vacation, chances are it's not a thrill ride or a tourist site, but rather a unique experience made possible by a local person we met. We founded Localyte so all of us could take advantage of the information that locals have every time we take a trip. We've built a community of locals who enjoy producing content, interesting and unique stuff about their hometowns. These people and the content they produce make it possible to have a unique experience every time we travel. They're what make Localyte unlike anything else quite on the web today. When it comes to information on the web about places, what we typically get is static, outdated stuff that makes for pretty dry reading. To the extent that there are real people giving suggestions, they're usually anonymous tourists talking about what they did at a place the last time they traveled there. So at Localyte, we wanted a living, breathing engine that produced authentic local content in real time. But to do that, we need an army of local experts, right? Well, we have that army. Let's take a look at it. The Localyte community is comprised of over 40,000 people around the world. We use these yellow pins to show clusters of them to kind of make it fun exploring the community. Let's take a look at one area here, Budapest, Hungary. We have over 442 locals in our community right in Budapest, and we can check some of them out here just by hovering over their names. As you might imagine, though, our community is not limited to Eastern Europe. We have locals, and they're all experts, in over 10,000 cities and towns around the world. Let's navigate down to Asia this time, and we'll check out Bangkok. We have over 1,000 local experts in Bangkok alone. Now let's move across some oceans and continents, and we'll go to the host of the 2016 Olympics. We have 912 local experts in Rio. We can even pick someplace small and seemingly random, like Maldives. Let's drill down into the islands here. 196 locals in Maldives. Now, what about the U.S.? Well, let's cruise over, and why not go to see who's around us right here. Let's go to this part of Orlando and check it out. Quite a number of people in our immediate vicinity, all of them actively producing content, and most of them able to help us directly. We'll talk about how we can engage these folks in a bit, but first, let's end this little tour back over in Europe, and this time we'll check out Italy and Rome specifically. We have almost 200 local experts in Rome, and we're going to look at one in a little more detail this time. We're going to open up Nancy Aiello's profile here. She's very active. She's answered over 150 questions from travelers, posted information on lots of activities, and in her profile here she explains she's lived in Rome over 30 years, has 2 kids, and actually owns and operates her own independent travel company, independent tour company. So Nancy's not just another user producing, quote, user-generated content. She's a real expert. And it's taken us almost a year to build this community of 40,000 local experts. And lately our growth has really been picking up. At this rate, we're going to cross the 700,000 local mark in less than 2 years. And that's a lot of people producing a lot of content. In fact, at this level, we'll be producing over 20 million new words per month. To get an idea of the power behind this, let's look at how the current Localyte community is working. We'll go to the localyte.com website, which is available to anybody today, and our CEO, Guillermo, recorded a search a couple of days ago, and we're just going to follow along. He types in Bangkok, and he's taken to a page with all the locals from Bangkok, and you can search through that in various ways, and you'll see all the profiles along with all the content that these local experts have produced. If we go back up to the top here, though, we'll see Andre Brewer the #1 local in the area, has answered questions from 200 travelers and added information on lots of activities. We'll go to this activities page, and you can see mountain biking, a special mountain biking operations highlighted, but Andre and the 1,000+ other locals have actually added information on thousands of different things to do, everything from shopping to bird watching to ghost tours, you name it. We could look at these in more detail, but Guillermo actually had a specific question he wanted answered by some of these locals. He typed in this box on the right here, places to visit with few tourists. He clicks ask a question, and the site tells him, okay, your question's been sent to locals, and we're going to send you we'll send you a notification once you get some answers. Guillermo checks his email later that day. Let's see what happens. And he had a message from Localyte. We're going to open that up. It says he has some answers. We can click on the link, and we're going to get brought back to the Localyte site again. And lo and behold, later that day, he had 7 direct responses from 7 different local experts in the area. And he can go through all those, obviously, and take what he wants from each one. But what's happening is the community itself of these local experts is reviewing the information as it's produced, and they're going to vote on what they like. And it turns out in this case, they voted Ron Marquardt's response here at the top as the best. And Ron had quite a few suggestions for Guillermo on what he could do to get off the beaten tourist path in Bangkok. Okay, now Guillermo could actually start a dialogue back and forth with Ron, but rather than go down that track, let's see how Localyte's also made this entire experience portable, so you can do this wherever you go. We've built an iPhone app, in this case, Pocket Sherpa we call it. Here's our same fun little globe. And Guillermo recorded another search on this. We're going to follow along again. This time he selected France as a place he wanted to check out. And just like on the web, when we go here, we see all the locals who are available in the area. We can see their profiles. We can see what they've written about and search through all that. We can also see all the activities that these folks have put information on, and again, across a broad category, a set of categories. Let's check out one category this time in a little more detail. The Show Me Around has 28 different services, and here's one on photo tours that Randy Harris, a local expert, wrote about. There's also a section in the application which has all the discussions going on between local experts and travelers, and we can search through that and consume the content ourselves or ask our own question and kind of start another dialogue. Okay, let's go back to our favorite place, Orlando, again here. And again, we can see all the activities that these local experts have written about in Orlando, and we can see the local experts again themselves. This time, Guillermo, who's here with me somewhere, had a question because he's got a free night at the end of this conference. He types in free night in Orlando, what to do. Again, sent this a couple days ago, so we cheated a little bit. And he got quite a number of answers, so if we type his inbox below on this application, we can see those. And in this case, he drills into an answer from Bipin Shah, who had some suggestions for Guillermo around places to eat, dinner shows, dancing, and so forth. So how do we do all this? Well, we had to build some pretty sophisticated technology to manage this size of community and this amount of content in a reasonable way. It starts by getting the local experts motivated to help people. And we've got a system of points and rewards that actually has them competing to see just how helpful they can be. We then have to keep these folks productive. And we've got algorithms that determines who gets what in terms of tasks and questions, so no one gets too inundated and they all stay sharp. We then want to make sure that only helpful and useful stuff gets through. So we've actually enlisted the community itself to police everything going on, and they make sure that nothing offensive or silly makes it through to travelers. And finally, we want to make sure the best stuff rises up to the top so travelers have the best experience possible. And our travelers and locals participate in a rating system which does just that. So what we end up with here is a real-time, living, breathing content engine. And you've seen what we've done on the web and the mobile app with it, but what we're most excited about now is we're opening up our API so any third party can take advantage of this community and content in their service. We actually released a widget a little over a month ago, and we've seen almost 1,000 sites adopt it into their property. They're trying to engage their users. From this widget, we can take people to a white-labeled landing page with deeper content and where they can engage with the users. The reason these partners are getting so engaged is they see the value in the content. I've heard the panel talk about it. I've heard many of the other speakers talk about it. Content is king here. It helps with SEO. It gets their users more engaged. And it keeps visitors coming back over and over again to continue their conversations with these locals and to find that information that's going to make their next trip so special. Thank you.
Doug Raynard of Localyte. Thank you.